Welcome back to Dial Park Regional Sports Complex, home of Wilson's Homes. Dial Park here at the Penguin Football Club, and we have Game 4 of the Masters, and this one is the women's round. Tasmania versus Vic Country. And as Tony Lovett just mentioned previously in the last game, and according to the umpire that's holding the football, so number 25, so BJ Johnson from the vice-captain for Victoria will get it going. And that affects Mike's up rather loud.
Ben's got it.
Well, we can hear that through the headset. So Tassie can get away. But they actually don't have a league, as we spoke about previously. Good tackle there being applied by Vic Country, number 13. Not on the team sheet. I'll have to see if we can try and chase that one up. So,
thank you.
From Vic Country.
Nominate, please, Rux.
Just talking off air there while I was screening into some chips and gravy. That's why we're a little bit late on the piece there. I tell you what, Dipper wasn't wrong about those chips and gravy. My goodness, as this one spills out towards Tamika Wiggins. There's a couple of really good players out there. Sherry Adams is a Glenorchy girl who plays in the SFL. Danielle Dunstan playing NWFL for Penguin, home ground. I think Penguin it is X.
Yeah, she's played at Latrobe, Devonport, Penguin, I think even Burnie.
Nice little contingency of teams there, as this one is knocked outside for a throw-in.
Throw it in, please, Paige.
Just in front of Wiggins, and we're going to get another throw-in. So Victoria Country, BJ Johnson, the vice-captain, was looking to get it as last touch.
Wasn't a lot of time between games here. X, quick little
changeover,
yeah.
Absolutely. The girls are right into it. They had a good warm-up preparation too. Good tackle being applied there by Carly Smith, also known as Rabbit, Vic Country. Ball up. Comes clear. Oh, look at Tassie get away there. That might have been Dunstan. Summer Jeffrey, actually. It was Summer Jeffrey. Got hold of it. Not able to take the mark with a bit of pressure being applied was number 30 for Tassie. I'll have to double-check that one. We've got, that's Kirby Gibbons. So we go to 2 team sheets, can you believe it, for the girls for Tassie. That's how many we've got. And number 35 just been wrapped up in a tackle, going it back. That's Elizabeth McKay to the umpire.
It's a good pick up from you. I didn't have my second team sheet out there, X, so I appreciate you for getting me onto that.
Summer Jeffrey misses the footy, but then applies the tackle with a teammate there in Sammy Walker on Vic Country, and that might have been on Young Rabbit. So getting the kick there from the congestion was Nicole Smith. And is that a mark? Has it been paid? It has. We didn't hear the whistle. And the mark has been taken there. I'm going to have a guess. It's either Newlands or Weller. I'm going to go with Simone Weller.
Good shout, I reckon.
So
line up.
There's 50-50 chance. Weller off the side of the boot. Doesn't quite make the distance. Hasn't gone through for a rush behind. Tassie still fighting to keep it alive. Good tackle being applied by BJ Johnson. Another handball there. That one by Weller. And she gets a boot to it again. And this time she puts it through. Almost from the impossible angle, can you believe it or not? So I'm going to go with Simone Weller for getting the first there. For Tasmania, they're on the board. The ledger stands at the moment 2-1 in favour of Tasmania after the first 3 games. Good fight back by Vic Country in the over 45s to get one back, and they did it by 4 points with a barnstorming finish in that game. But Tassie, first to register a score. We have played 4 minutes into the first quarter, and Tassie lead 1 goal straight to Vic Country, yet to score.
Nice little crowd noise there as well. Finally lifting after a day on the cans, X. Not like us, not our cans. A couple of different varieties. Right. There's greens in the ruck there, trying to pick it up. I reckon that might be Dunstan as she kicks it out towards a teammate in Young or Johnston. You can take your pick there as well, much like the whole day, really. You can take your pick with any number. Is Sky Sinclair, the name Skids. I like how on the team sheet they've added their nicknames here, X.
Yeah, I think it's great.
As they work their way down this commentary side. Mark taken by Croupy. Her name is Mish. Or nickname rather. Oh, that was a big hit. I wonder if she's okay. Looks like she is. It was either Rachel Crack or Susie King. As they go again now, the Victorians. Dunstan. You reckon that's Dunstan next?
Nah, it's Jeffrey.
That's Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Is that relation to Adam Jeffrey, who plays for, or used to play for Latrobe, you reckon?
Yeah, it could be.
Wouldn't be surprised as they scrap for it at ground level. Kick out was good from Porter. Nickname Knickers. That's a nice nickname. Don't know if I'd want it though, as they still go at ground level. I wonder if they can get a clearance. They can. Towards the Tasmanian back line now they go. Will be wrapped up on the wing. Umpire says my ball, and we'll have a ball up.
So Megsy Corbett wrapped up in a tackle for Vic Country. Centre wing position right in front of the grandstand. Crowd on their feet, looking forward to what the ladies are able to put on display here. I agree with you. There goes BJ Johnson, just getting it back from Rubbit. Goes out to Croupy, so Mish gets the Michelle Croupy. So that's why she's called Mish, one would think. And the kick, and that's holding the football according to the umpire. Not getting rid of it. So Tasmania are going to be the beneficiaries here. And there's the play on. Cords half forward. I think that's Summer Jeffrey. She gets her hands on the footy.
Good shepherd.
Was indeed. And a great kick. Asking her teammate to make her way into it. That she does. And that's Tish Johnson.
So Johnston now kicks over the top to a teammate in Gibbons, who I think plays for Penguin as well, I reckon, as she's wrapped up. So a couple of really good NWFL players in there today. Big Ruckman's going to bustle in for this one. Green. I know she's got a twin. I always get them mixed up. One's been an absolute stalwart. I reckon it is Melinda, who's been one of the best women's players in Hobart in the SFL X. She'll do the ruck battle this time. Tap over the top was good from Dimmacy. Defensive spoil was good as well by Tamika Wiggins. She just gets pushed over. Coming away with it now is Smith, the rabbit, as they hug the boundary line and hug the tightrope, as this one's going to fall short of Renee Watts or Christy Walker.
And Watts will get the free kick, I think. Oh, no. It's come off Tasmania, is it?
Playing last touch, are they? No.
Yeah, so Watts gets the free kick. Yeah,
Yep.
Watts gets the free kick.
Vic.
But she's not really... She's not sure what to do.
They're kicking to the right-hand screen.
Right hand to the right of screen. Kick. Not quite able to be marked, but they're able to throw it onto the boot and get it forward. Ducking back into the tackle was Tasmania. Good tackle applied there by Knickers, Porter. Ball comes back out to Damasi, so that's Jack. Jacinta Damasi. And she's been pinged for holding the football, and she protests. That's not the correct call, umpire. Tassie get the free. Back towards centre forward. No one able to take the mark. Getting her hands on the pill, though, with Salerno, Lili. Ball being able to be ricocheted by Tasmania. I think that's in the front of Jeffrey. She picks the ball up around and has a shot on goal, but it's wayward to the side, and it's one behind. So it's 1-1-7 Tasmania. We've almost played 9 minutes into the first quarter. Vic Country yet to score.
I wonder where Brendan Gale is. Hopefully we can get him in later this afternoon. If he's around.
I believe he's doing the presentation for the girls, so he'd be around somewhere, one would imagine.
Remember we got him up at Irish Town. Maybe you can work your magic again next and get him on, as this one works out of the half for the Vic Country girls. Boundary line beating everyone though. And this will be a throw-in. We'll organise him a bit later. I'm not sure if the Premier will be around later. I know he is potentially scheduled to. Good crowd behind us here. Good contingency of cars as well. Real local football aspects and feeling of this one. And good to see all the umpires out there wearing pink and also the traditional green. Traditional for the Northwest, I think. Umpires in the south have turned to yellow X.
I haven't really been keeping tabs on that over the journey, to be honest with you. So, nonetheless, good tackle being applied there by one of two, Weller or Newlands. I'll go with Weller.
It's weird what the brain picks up.
That's right, absolutely. Getting a hands on the pill was Jack Damasi for Victoria. Able to clear now from the congestion by foot. No one able to pick it up cleanly. We're going to get another ball up, centre wing position. Again, right in front of the grandstand. There's a good vibe here. There's a really good vibe at Penguin here today. So an atmosphere almost carnival-like as Tassie tried to release by hand. No one able to clear it. And we're going to get another ball up, one would think. It's moved about 5 metres to the favour of Tasmania, but still effectively centre wing position, grandstand side of the ground. Looking forward to finding out what happens here. Susie King, I'm looking forward to seeing Susie King out on the paddock. Susie King, she's 61 years old. She's got a grey ponytail according to my notes here. And she's a very fit runner. So looking forward to seeing what Susie King can do. At 61 years of age, fair effort. There, hands on the pill. Salerno, Lily gets the handball away. Comes to Rabbit, Smith. That's Carly. She's wrapped up in a tackle. And umpire says, give it to me. Top of the forward 50 for Tasmania. We'll get another ball up.
It was a pretty good effort. I don't think I'll be playing football till I'm 60. I don't even think I'll be playing. I haven't played for ages either. So she's doing a lot better than all of us here at the Masters today. Big collision in there. Johnston, BJ, her nickname. Nice pick up there from Karinsky. But it's turned over instantly. And 13, who of course you can probably pick what we're about to say next, don't have on the team sheet. So we're just going to hope that she passes it off, which she does. And I reckon that might be Dunstan. I know she does play full forward. Not full forward, but in the pocket. It might be Dunstan, it might be Jeffrey.
I might do some investigation a quarter time because we've got two number 7s and they're both they look similar.
Rolling out the back and a goal to Tasmania, the second of the day, going the way of Melanie Kirkby. That was a nice piece of play there, X.
Yeah, Melanie Kirkby. Just the beneficiary of the ball coming across the back, and she was quick enough to pounce on the football and smart enough to get her boot to ball. And right in the goal square. Limits the risk, I suppose, with regards to missing. And 2-1-13, the Tasmanian Women's Masters side.
Good to see they got the scoreboard up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see out here at Wilson's Hames Park. And I'll tell you what, the girls will be in fine form later on at the Bridge Hotel. I can give you the tip about that one. I know that much.
Is that where we're going to see you later on?
Absolutely.
We'll be
yeah,
there,
Timmy
maybe.
Allen, I tell you what, if you want to go and have a few stories, hear a few stories, you're going to have a chat with Timmy Allen. He will regale you all night long.
I reckon we'll be there with Duff as well. No one who I've ever met who was like to be more than Duff.
Yeah, no, well, it's
out on the opportunity.
Fantastic venue, over 150 years old. So the fourth pub, a real institution at this end of the coast. BJ Johnson gets a boot to ball, that trusty left foot, towards half forward. Vic Country now have an opportunity, unable to take the ball cleanly.
Oh.
Pushing them off was BJ Johnson. She really got into Wiggins there. Wiggins took a dive. Johnson gets her head over the football and receives the free kick for being tapped on the shoulder or across the head.
I know it. Shouldn't say. I love that. Love the physicality.
Yeah,
especially in the Masters.
Absolutely. So Johnson's kick towards half forward. Looks like Tasmania trying to get away. Wiggins unable to take it cleanly, so she wraps up the Vic Country player in number 22. That's Paula Bunting. She's going to receive the free kick because she didn't have possession of the football.
And it's good to see that all these girls are prepared. No double ups in numbers. It's been great as this one is kicked into the pocket. Going inside forward 50 is Erin Murphy. Just though, only just got inside the required distance. 22 will mark it in Paula Bunting. Doesn't have a nickname. So she'll drive it inside the forward 50. The flies from everywhere, but a really strong mark taken by Croydon as the siren sounds for quarter number 1 here at Dial Park. The Tasmanian women's side are leading the Victorian Country Women's 2-1-13. Some goal kickers.
Yeah, the only goal kickers we've got, one apiece. First one went to, I think it was Simone Weller. So Simone Weller, the number 9 for Tasmania. We have 2 number 9s today. Simone Weller and Amy Newland. So I'll mention Amy just in case. So it could have been either her or Simone Weller. The other goal kicker was number 24, Melanie Kirby, over the back for the second for Tasmania. So they lead 2-1-13 to Vic Country, yet to score. Just before we take a little bit of a break, I'll get Bo in a moment to give our better players. But as I mentioned, a bit later on tonight, it's going to be rocking at the Bridge Hotel in Forth. So big thank you to them for sponsoring today's Carnival action here at Wilson Homes Dial Park Regional Sports Complex. Also brought to you today by Events Tasmania through the Tasmanian Government. Burnie Trophy Centre for all your trophy needs and medallion needs. Clark Windows, AquaManage, Kayne Davern Electrical Services. If you've got an electrical problem, get hold of Kayne. He'll lumber around and be able to sort a few things out for you. If you want to get around Australia, Group Travel Australia. Newmans Home Furnishings. See Clinton Stratton, who organises and runs Newmans Home Furnishings. If you are looking to move back in and decorate the house from the inside. Safewater Solutions, Burnie and Devonport Toyota if you need to get around town. Last but not least, Savu Saunas.
And as well as Super for Health, that brought Kevin Shetty out there as Brendan Gale's about to jump in the box. Weddouree Car Service Centre, Dan Butcher at AADB Concreting, Drainage Doctor, Green Pipes Plumbing, Jim's Pool Care, Sports Gear Australian Tyrepower Gisbone. We're going to go to a break. Up next after the break, Tasmania Devils CEO Brendan Gale joins us in the box. Welcome back to Dial Park. It's currently 2-1-13. Plays Duck Eggs yet to score the Vic Country Girls as we get back underway here with a nice strong tap down by Tamika Wiggins. This one is heating up here at Dial Park. Nice weather. Xavier Williams and Bo Downham, as well as our special guest Brendan Gale. Brendan, thanks so much for coming in again to the Duff TV van.
Feel very privileged, Bo. Great to be here, mate. And Irish Town last time.
It was, yep. Good memory.
Penguin this time, mate. This is it's been a few years here. Some fond memories. Not at this football ground down the hill, but this is a wonderful facility and great to be here.
Yeah, home sweet home, Brendan. And you've been home for not only this, but another sporting endeavour that's on this weekend, the Burnie International. So how was that, catching up with Fromberg and Paddy Cash and company?
Yeah, it was great. Look, the tennis centre of Burnie is a great facility, and I used to walk past it, but probably didn't realise how good it was to compare it with other facilities around the country, and it really stacks up. I'm not a tennis player, but spent enough time there socially. I did tell the story about when I did play my one and only competitive game, though. I had a couple of friends who were really good tennis players and played pennant for Ulverston. They were playing Burnie this day, and I lived in Burnie, and they had a couple sick, so they asked me would I fill in. I said, but I can't play. And they said, you can hold a racket, which I could anyway. It wasn't too long before I revealed how poor I was, and they started bagging me and turned on me. It's like, what did you expect? And then I hit another guy in the face at the net. He got angry because he thought it was intentional. I said, I'm not that good, mate. So I told that story, got a few laughs. But a great facility, great tournament. Bumped into Pat Cash there, actually had a chat. Wouldn't be too many Wimbledon champions walking through the Burnie tennis complex, would there?
No. I was surprised that he had a player. He's got a player.
Got a player. He's good. He gets around. He's chatting to locals, making himself available. So it was wonderful to see him there. And obviously, Fromberg's a household name in this part of the world, and he's had a decorated career himself. But I actually didn't see him.
Yeah, no, so Pat actually has been taking some of the schools that have been coming in throughout the Burnie International this week. So he's literally been hands-on from working for Tennis Tasmania. So that was Summer Jeffrey, I think, that just kicked the first goal of the second term. So Tassie are now out to a 20-point lead. They lead 3-2-20. Vic Country yet to score. You'll be going out at the back end of this match, Brendan. You will be doing some presentations on Led to Believe. So
I believe so, and hopefully I'll be presenting medals to the Tasmanian team. I don't want to touch wood, but
well, talking about that, I've got a few questions for you, Brendan, with regards to the Tasmanian football team. Tassie Devils start very, very shortly. Robbie Fox, local boy, Penguin boy, is going to be the captain. How happy are you with regards to being able to get him on board for the start of the new Tasmanian Devils?
Oh, look, we're thrilled. We're thrilled. Unfortunately, players who leave Tasmania to play AFL footy and have decorated careers don't tend to come back. I think until recently, there was one player who'd returned in the history, or certainly the AFL era, that had played more than 100 games, and that was Matthew Armstrong. The only player who'd come back recently, joined by Colin Garland. So the experience is they don't come back. So for Robbie to come back, and just had a young son born, Romeo, want to be able to play with a name like Romeo. For him to come back to Tasmania, to Hobart's wonderful, and particularly Robbie himself, because clearly he's had a wonderful career, but he's just an outstanding character. And when we're trying to build a team and teams from scratch, and VFL first and AFL, that cultural scaffolding is going to be really, really important around a young impressionable list, and we couldn't be happier and prouder that Robbie's come back.
I want to ask you one quickly. Intra-club match today, got any score updates for us?
I don't, unfortunately. I've been I had this event yesterday in Burnie. I've spent some family time with my mother last night. Had a few errands to run around this morning, so
Clear out from behind.
I've got no idea. Would love to have seen it, but higher duties beckoned up at the coast here with the Masters.
As this one is marked by Newmans, I want to ask one more after this goal. I'll let you have time to think about it. The squads have both been finalised for a little bit now. you've obviously been getting around the club. I want to ask you some standout players. I know Jackson Artemis is one who's going to potentially be a really good player for the Devils. Who have you liked so far, apart from the big names who have joined the Devils? Who's one person that's really impressed you on the training track?
Oh, look, unsurprisingly, I'm really impressed with Jai Menzies as well. Like from day one, he's hit the ground running. He could probably sit back on his heels a little bit this time of year. He's had obviously a career with Essendon, but he is just showing the standard the boys have to get to. The other one I didn't know much about was Hugh Dixon. Left here as a young lad and went to WA and played a handful of games over there, and took a while to settle down, which is not uncommon. Obviously, prolific goal kicker at Southport, successful program. Comes back with I think the tools. Like, he's got the size, he's got the mobility, he's a very mobile 12-4, but attitudinally he's really grasping this opportunity, and I mean, this is the opportunity. I mean, a couple of years here and potentially listed on AFL. Sorry, potentially positions on an AFL list, but just a couple to name a few.
What we talk about? What about from the women's side of things? Because we're looking at the women's at the moment. How are we looking in that aspect from a leadership perspective?
The other person I'd say is sorry, just to mention is Bailey Bogue. I actually hadn't met until the camp at Queenstown a few weeks ago, and he's travelling.
He's a ripper.
And he's committed. Like, clearly he's a highly decorated player up here, but just the commitment and...
is he driving down and back?
Yeah, we've got buses and stuff. We've got to take the risk away from the boys and take the load off them. But he's just, by dint of example, he's been outstanding, and I'd love to see him make a real impression and blaze a bit of a trail for...
He lives next door to Putt.
Does he?
Yeah. In Crown Street there, mate.
And it just is hard, we've tried really hard to create a regional hub, regional program for both the men and women, or the northwest. But we're finding a lot of the players just self-selected and decided, look, if this is my chance, I want to put myself in the best environment to develop and grow. I've got to move to Hobart, and that's sort of, it's a well-worn path, unfortunately. But that's just so the fact that Bailey is still committed is really important.
That must be really pleasing. I work at a school as well. We've got a number of Devils now moving down. Of course, Jackson Artemis is one of those who's moved from WA, but a lot of the Lonnie boys and the Northwest Coast boys have been moving down. So it must really make you proud and really happy that they're committed and they're driving down and they're moving their whole lifestyle down to Tasmania, all from the Northwest Coast and Lonnie down to Hobart.
Yeah, look, they are. I mean, in an ideal world, you'd want them, making that commitment. But on any given Saturday, if they weren't playing, they'd be back in their clubs, their local clubs, wherever that is, and just raising the bar and showing others where the level is. And probably more have come down than what we expected, which is great from a program point of view. But we really want that to sort of radiate through the whole football community as well. So getting the balance right is pretty important.
So from a women's perspective, how are we looking on with regards to the VFLW program?
Look, I think they're expected Todd Patterson, and who's our head of list management, who's largely put the roster together. He's probably a little more bullish in their ability to compete in the VFL than the men. I think the coastal players as well. I think he's got high hopes for. They don't start to May, and they started later, but without sort of individualising, I've just noticed in probably 6 weeks the change in athletic I watched them train Wednesday night. The change in athletic profile, they're covering the ground a lot better and much more athletic, and so it bodes well.
Are they? Sorry.
You go.
I was just going to ask, are they training out of Brighton as well?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And how are you finding the facility out there? I know it's quite picturesque with regards to that, but the actual infrastructure itself.
It's wonderful. I mean, the Brighton Council have been really accommodating, and look, the ovals, we have 3 ovals, and they're elite. And so we've got flexibility of actual ovals, so we work closely with the Brighton Footy Club as well. We've set up a permanent, semi-permanent gym in the Brighton Agricultural Show Council Chook Shed. So we've taken that over, put some rubber down and squat racks, and we just simply call it the chook shed. And it's great. So they get the work done, and the boys and girls love it. They train together, see a lot of each other. Got wonderful club rooms there as well for meetings and breakout sessions. Look, it's a bit of time getting there by Hobart standards. It's a bit of a trek. By Melbourne standards, I mean, you don't get out of your suburb in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So it's no issue for us, but it's going well, and it has to, because we'll be there for a couple of years. Yeah.
And I want to ask you about someone who could play in this game, particularly in years to come. Georgia Walker, her first real crack at senior coaching. I know she was at the Giants as a line coach, but her first time having a real crack at VFLW coaching. She's really impressive by what I can see in the media. How have you liked her inception to the team?
Yeah, she's worked really hard on bringing the group together culturally, and through. There's an old saying, someone shared it with me a few years ago, and it really does make sense the more we think about it. In footy programs, men need to play well to feel as they belong. Women need to feel as they belong to play well. And so that real sense of belonging and bonding and culture and storytelling, she's elite at. And she got some good support around her well, and she's really, really passionate, enthusiastic. Had a great chat with her Wednesday night. She's really exciting. In fact, they had their camp, 2-day camp down at Sorrel and Dodgers Ferry and the surrounds, and the word got back to me that she pulled out the tarot cards. That's
an interesting strategy.
Interesting strategy, but I think it got the result she was looking for. But that's an illustration of how, you do need softer hands. It is very much more about the relationships and create an environment where people have fun and enjoy being there, belong, more so with the women, but increasingly with the men as well. Mm-hmm. Not sure about tarot cards, but...
I didn't know that, actually. She was talking about that one time.
Yeah.
A little bit interesting. I like it, though.
You've been getting around a bit lately. So you've been a bit of a travelling salesman. Last week I think it might have been the Chudley show.
Loved it.
Yeah, tell us all about Chudley. Actually, you've been to every point thereabouts of Tasmania at the moment. How have you actually found that yourself? I mean, from a topical point of view that's been in the media in recent times.
Gary plays at Devonport. He was born in Devonport.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's got his membership. He's a proud Tasmanian when he wants to be. Yeah. But Tim's from Dimboola, so that's Western Districts, far, almost on the border of South Australia. It's red dirt, sheep, wheat.
Had a bit of rain there.
But he hasn't had his hands dirty in years, Tim. I think he's got a little farmlet down the
peninsula,
Gippsland Peninsula. He's what you call a Collins Street farmer now. Gets around the inner Melbourne suburbs with his little Peaky Blinders cap and
Albert Park. Yeah.
No, it's all good. Look, I firstly, this football club is by Tasmania, for Tasmania. Not for Hobart, not for Launceston. It's for every community that has been the part of football in this state for 160 years. So it's not a slogan, that's a commitment. So we need to be all over Tasmania. We need to be, look, our programs will be based in Hobart, but we'll be playing games in Launceston, we'll be playing games in Dial Park. There'll be, academy training hubs all over the state. And I think the leaders of the club have to get around and watch footy and be interested in being invested. Now, I'm happy to come up here because it's my home and I love that sense of connection. But yeah, look, I was invited to the Chudley show last year, couldn't make it. Invited me again, it was wonderful. Just a good old-fashioned sort of pastoral agricultural show. Love the wood shops. I think the best thing was I got the invite, the nod and the wing at the end of the day from the committee to join them for afternoon tea with the ladies.
Oh, man!
And it was just like, so I go in, there's this spread of bloody sponge cake and slices, and it was wonderful. The hospitality, I mean, it's real. That's we just completed our third lap of the map. Even our meeting rooms in a Hobart office, the Smithton room, the Strawn room, the Southport room, the Swansea room. They're not named after players or Hudson or Baldock, or it's places, north, south, east, west, and we're by Tasmania, for Tasmania.
And this is a real point of difference, and people don't quite get. They're struggling to grasp this concept, in particular the mainstream media. Would you agree with that point?
Yeah, well, we're the only. we're the only club in the AFL that can represents an entire state. No other club can claim that.
You stand here.
We've got some challenges with size of scale. We're not a massive state, and there is some dispersal of population.
It's going to be a dam.
And right now, every football supporter supports another club because they've had no alternative. So, we just can't take support for granted. We've got to win the hearts and minds of football supporters all over the state, and being present and being visible is a large part of that.
Can you stay for another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
You happy to do so?
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give the time, the score. So it's 4-2-26 to Tasmania, the map, leading Vic Country, yet to score in the women's. Masters Women's, Tasmania versus Vic Country here at Wilson Homes at Dial Park. Goal scorers for Tasmania have been as follows. I think it was Summer Jeffrey that's kicked the goal as opposed to Danielle Dunstan, but I might be wrong with regards to that.
I think it was.
So if that's the case, my apologies. Amy Newlands and Simone Weller, I think, have got one apiece. They're both wearing the number 9 for Tasmania. Melanie Kirby's the other goal scorer for Tasmania. Yet to get on the board is the Vic Country women's side. And I just want to do a quick shout out to the Vic Country sponsors of part of today's broadcast. So AADB Concreting, the Drainage Doctor. If you need some support in Vic Country, 0411 442 042. Green Pipes Plumbing, they'll be able to support you and the Drainage Doctor if you need some assistance with regards to that. If you're out Weddouree, get your car service there from the Car Service Centre on 5339 3343 with the area code 03. Super for Health, along with Jim's Pool Care, so the mobile pool shops. We make pools sparkle, along with Sports Gear Australia and Tyrepower in Gisbone. 03542 07654. Brendan, I've got to ask you in and around a couple of things. I've recently got hold of the book written by Conrad Marshall, and the recent book that he's come out with is in and around running. Now, the reason I bring this up is because he's a fantastic writer, and it seems to be going great guns at the moment, and I'm really enjoying the book. However, in saying that, he was part and parcel of documenting the resurgence after 37 years for the Richmond Football Club. I want to ask you about that particular experience. Similarly, currently there's a few documentaries going around, so one with being GWS, No Holds Barred and things along those lines. What is the Tasmanian Football Club doing with regards to documenting the process of the Tasmanian Football Club coming into existence?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question, and just to contextualise further, Conrad was embedded with us for each of those 3 premierships, and whilst early on there's a little bit of reluctance about, like he just had access all areas, we were just thrilled that upon reflection that, look, I don't keep a diary, but I've got an incredibly well-written record of 3 quite remarkable years, and so that's from my point of view, I feel, and I was certainly amongst it. But so to take your fans into that, to build a stronger connection with the club, and that direct relationship is becoming more and more important, with other forms of entertainment and leisure and the like. So philosophically, we are going to be an open club because we've got an incredible story to tell, and we've got a responsibility to tell it. So the first thing is, since day one, Xavier, is that we've been capturing everything. So everything captured, recorded, Sammy Dryce and the team just... and we'll have access to other AFL media in the background as well. So a lot of the big set pieces, if you think over the last 3 years, have been captured and recorded. And we're, I guess we're in probably discussions, the pointy head now with a few production companies. Big international companies have been involved, and like Wrexham and stuff like that about this incredible story. Because we feel this will be the most compelling sporting narrative, certainly in the next 5 to 6 years prior to the Brisbane Olympics, and so we will produce it and we'll share that at the right time, in the lead up to, I guess, our commencement 28. Even speaking to a producer, well-known producer, director last year, and even the debate around the stadium was from a production point of view is incredibly interesting, because it just highlights the passions, and And I remember saying, as distinct from the last 2 expansion teams, which are really, strong teams and important in their own right, but they were sort of creatures of AFL marketing. It's about a team in Western Sydney, about TV audiences, TV revenue, putting a game in Sydney every week. Same with South East Queensland with the Suns. You see the difference here. This is really passionate. It's real. And whilst you're a new team coming online, it's off the back of a history of 160 years. So it makes for a great story, I think, and I think we've got an obligation to tell it, and we will.
Mate, you've had a huge week with all the player agents and the media coming down. Tell us why that was a really important step for Tasmania. I know that it sells itself, really, in my opinion, but why was that such an important week and event to have some player agents, and sort of what was the thinking around getting that up and running?
Well, the agents have become a really important stakeholder, and I think we have 30 down, and there's agents that are heavily invested in the women's program, women talent, female talent as well. So, look, I'm surprised at discovering how many people haven't ever been here. People my age in Melbourne, and who've certainly got the means and the ability to come down, just haven't. And so there's that question mark about the weather, and it snows every second day and all that sort of stuff. It's just, you need this bit of myth busting. So to bring them down for 2 days and showcase the best of Tassie, we had wonderful weather, a little bit of golf, some fine dining, a little bit of a few glass of Pinot, and then sort of down to business, infrastructure, accommodation, schools, real estate, lifestyle. Is really important. So it's sort of selling the opportunity, and we wanted them to leave. We met several weeks leading up to it, said, what do we want them to leave with? And we just wanted them to leave or create the impression that we're a real football club with really strong foundations, and almost without exception, that's the feedback I've got. The weather was outstanding. They had a good experience. So we're off to a good start. No other club's done it. Thought it was pretty important. Interestingly, as a footnote, we were a pretty tight schedule. We just got them to their plane on time. It was about 1 o'clock on Tuesday.
Charter flight?
No. They just jumped on one of the main carriers. They get back to Melbourne Airport. They're about to land, and massive rain event goes through Tullamarine. So up they go, and have to return back to Hobart. So back to beautiful weather. It only rains in Melbourne, hey? So really worthwhile exercise. Todd Patterson, Derek Hine were painstaking in their preparation and delivered.
Seems really passionate, Todd, doesn't he? He's
he is.
Sort of that next guy waiting after Derek. It was sort of, I love the pairing of Derek Hine and Todd. Obviously, someone who, Derek's been there for a long time, doing his best work, and then Todd, the pairing, I think it's perfect. Yeah,
well, football departments are art and science. It's the strength of the football department is the composition and the different personalities and the different skills. Just can't have like-minded individuals. Todd's a very strategic thinker, very numerate. He's a valuer by profession. It's a mindset that lends itself to football. Derek's an elite talent identifier. He's built premierships, bit of cunning and guile, knows where the bodies are buried. The national recruiting team are meeting today. Actually spoke with them via Zoom this morning. They're just locked away for a day today, and he set up a sort of an interstate scouting network as well. So these guys have a really, really important job. I mean, they're going to be responsible for using these concessions to pick the players. They're going to provide the culture and the foundation of our team for the next 20 years.
I remember Todd when I was playing at South Launceston Football Club, and his father, Rod, was the president.
Yeah.
And Todd running around was a pain in the right royal.
Was he?
Yeah. He was great value, but he was challenging at times. That's back when we were playing in the old TFL, and then they reversed and then came into the NTFL days. But no, he was good value. He was on the back of the senior squad all the time. That was Toddy. So it's great to see him back in Tasmania, giving back, and obviously to something that he's very passionate about. And I look forward to seeing what both he and Derek and the addition of Mitch Cashin can do. So coming from Hawthorn, and he's also actually quite a bit of wealth of experience with the women's program. Yeah. So good fellow, comes from good stock from David. Yeah. So and Cash himself was a ripper.
That's the pleasing thing about the role, since I started, I've been inundated with a whole range of expressions of interest for different roles, and clearly when there's a Tasmanian factor, it helps. It's not the only thing, but just the amount of people that have no connection, even on the call this morning, but have just kicked the door down to be part of this opportunity, and it's a great privilege. It's a great privilege, and it'll be a wonderful opportunity, not just for footy, but this entire state.
Now, you might be sick of this next question I'm going to ask you, but with regards to both the General Manager of footy for the men's and women's, along with the coaches, with regards to that. Now, the idea is, you've said publicly that by the end of the year you're looking to appoint someone or thereabouts, and similarly by maybe halfway through the year, someone with regards to the General Manager of football operations. So, where do you sit with that with regards to it? Are you still targeting high-profile public personnel? Are you after former Tasmanians with a profile plus experience in the coaching / administration management sort of area, or are you looking left field?
Well, look, I just think you need people in those roles who can really do their job, and there's some key requirements of the job that are fairly uncontroversial. I mean, we all know what they are, but there are some uniquely Tasmanian elements. And so you don't have to have a Tasmanian, but you need someone who can perform that role and step into that space. And there's a few. So from my point of view, in terms of time, that the head of football is the more important role, because that role is someone who's the architect and the builder of the entire program. Not we've got a VFL program, but it will evolve significantly, and we need to invite sports science, medicine, IT, the whole range of other people. Some of those skills and people reside in Tasmania, a lot don't. So
is that different? Sorry, just so for clarity, is that different from the general manager of football?
So general, that's what I'm talking about. The general manager of football. So typically, the general manager of football runs the whole department.
Okay.
And notionally, the coach will report to him. Maybe not for the purpose of the contract, and the coach will sort of report to that person, and the CEO. So, that person manages all elements of the high performance program overseas. So it's coaching, development, it's analytics, IT, it's sports science, it's medicine, it's conditioning, it's list management, recruiting. So all these elements that contribute to good performance or not, and so that person relies on judgment and data and all those sorts of things, but often it's about just judgment and experience. So it's a really, really important role. The coach is the public leader of the club, effectively, and it's huge, a very difficult job. But this is, you want this GM of footy to come in and play a role in selecting the coach and investing in the coach and having skin in the game. So that's middle of the year. And then that person will then start to sort of build out the rest of the program. And look, as I said, we've got some elements in place, but most important after that is the coach. And the coach we expect to have, certainly locked away or secured by the end of this year.
It seems like a really obvious question, but I know that the department's been fielding out really nicely. How, and it took a little bit of time, I know you would probably agree, but how important is it that you get the right people that are going to fit in culturally? Again, really obvious question, and you've still got a little bit to fill out, obviously, as you just spoke about, but getting the right people in that are going to build, how crucial is that? And I guess to the people that are out there wondering, why can't you just pick someone right now to do it? Why is it so crucial that you're picking the right people that are going to fit really?
You see, you've got to pick people for the now, and you've got to pick people for the future, and you've got to pick people for the now and the future. And we're picking people right with our VFL program now, and men's and women's, who can come in and play a role. But we've certainly got an eye to the future and their capacity to learn and grow and evolve and develop. And we feel there's people involved in our football programs now that will form part of our AFL program. I think I'm already seeing that. So, and they're people that are capable, but most importantly, Bo, they're people of great character. And for me, that's the gateway. And it doesn't mean character means you don't need to be an altar boy. but it means, you know, your team first, work really hard, care about your club, care about your teammates, integrity, just get on with it. You know, that to me, that's really good character, and you'll be in good stead in football. So we've got a few of those, proud to say, but we've got a few more spots to fill. And some of these people that I'm talking about before, I mean, they are contracted. They're involved in other clubs. You know, they're like days away from the start of the season, so that probably doesn't help us right now as well. But, you know, in 3 or 4 months' time, they'll be thinking about other things as well. That's the time.
You been invited to the CEO's meeting yet?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Excellent. How's that going?
You mean clubs?
Yeah, as in with all
No,
So,
I sort of.
you've been able to have input into that now? Or not yet?
Look, I've been involved. Look, you know, one of the things that people probably don't understand about AFL is you do compete fiercely for 2 hours each week out in the park, but off the field there's an incredible degree of sort of collaboration and information sharing, and to take this game forward. So there's regular set pieces with club CEOs, with AFL executive, with the commission. In fact, I'm in Sydney Wednesday and Thursday this week for 2 days of meetings, coincides with the season launch. So probably fair to say the last couple of years I haven't contributed as much. Well, certainly last year I've had my sort of focus on just getting Tassie out of the ground, and that's been the real priority, and probably continue for some time. I'd just sit back and take a back seat, mate. Why do you ask?
Oh,
you look as though you're a little mischievous. You look something, are you?
Well, no. I'll be up in Sydney too. Actually, I might see if I can get some merchandise of you. To be honest with you, so to give to family members who used to follow Robbie Fox. Right. So and they're still associated or connected with Tasmania. But the other one I wanted to talk about was Chief Watch, because they used to do it at the Richmond Football Club. So, and as I mentioned before, with all your travails in and around Tasmania, do you think we could start to get that one up and going again? What do you reckon?
Oh, look, I don't know about that. I think it takes a certain person to get away with that, and that was probably Richo. Notwithstanding.
Well, Richo might have mentioned.
Well, notwithstanding 95% of it's complete rubbish and fabrication. Someone came up to me in the street the other day and said they're still giving it to me. Apparently, they still haven't let me off the hook. Apparently,
when I'm talking Tigers or something.
Oh, yeah, something like that. So, what's the old saying, Xavier? You can take
where's Wally?
You can take your job seriously, but you don't always have to take your job too seriously.
Yeah, that's right.
Richo had licence to get away with it, I reckon, and it's about entertainment, and he still does a great job.
Certainly does.
That podcast just smashes it.
Does it?
Oh yeah. They love it, and the fact that Richo turns up every week, he loves it. Yeah, good.
Membership. For some people, it's been really confusing with regards to the tiers and understanding what that entails for them moving forward and what that opens up for, especially when games come online.
Yeah, I get that. Look, it's a lot simpler than an orthodox AFL club membership program that has a range of products, but there's been a blueprint in place for years and years and years, and they rarely change except for price. And so there's no blueprint. We're a new club. We've had 216,000 foundation members who all we know about them is that they're willing to pay $10 a couple of years ago. And we have to migrate. We have to evolve to a more of an orthodox tiered program. And we're going to get the balance right between affordability and accessibility, where there's going to be scarcity demand, both at Ninja Stadium, UTAS Stadium, and ultimately Macquarie. There's not going to be enough seats, unfortunately. That's just the way it is, particularly when we play big Melbourne clubs. So at the same time, we've got to make money, mate, as well. We're a commercial enterprise, and we need to find probably $60 million a year to support this club so we're competitive. So we launched the membership program, but we had 2 weeks explaining what it was and what it wasn't, and all sorts of Q&A and feedback, and then we went on sale this Monday. And I think, judging by the results, it's gone really well. And for those who don't really understand and want to continue the journey, there's a supporter option, which is a $25 option, or there's a devil believer option with some add-ons, which is $85. And that, by buying a believer, that is the gateway you walk through to get access to reserve seats down the track when they come on sale in May, when we have a better idea about demand and supply. So I know it sounds confusing to some because it's new and it's different. It's a lot simpler than the offerings of most AFL clubs that have probably 20 membership products. It just takes a bit of getting used to.
Okay.
So the score 4-28 here at Dole Park. We have kept a little bit of time talking to you, Brendan, but it's great to have you in the Duff TV box. I just want to ask one more very, very quickly before we go. Grant O'Brien, he's been... Obviously, the work of the board is you don't get paid on the board. I know, talking to Lynchy through SEN, that you don't get paid to work on the board. Nope. And all of the work that people do on that board, especially Grant O'Brien, Lynchy, Kath, and the rest of the like, it must be... just touch on what he's been doing lately, and it's been great to have him on board working tirelessly.
Oh, well, it's an incredibly important job. Because, ultimately, I mean, when we're up and running and fully operational, the members own the club. The members elect the board to represent their interests, and they sort of oversee and govern the club, the management, and so it's a really important role and really important structure. But it's a thankless one, and Grant's been involved. I mean, he was involved in the task force, and then in the inaugural board. And then from launch, and now, and here we are in March, our second birthday. It's incredible amount of work. It's been an incredibly challenging environment, I think. It's a startup. I'm relatively experienced in the world of football administration. I must say I've never been involved in a startup. None of us have. But he brings great... acumen from a governance point of view and commercial acumen. I mean, he ran Woolworths. It's it's one of the biggest companies in Australia by market cap, 250,000 employees.
Thank you.
He's an elite marketer. He really, takes you back to how the customer thinks and feels. You can't not forget the customer journey. And even his involvement around this membership program. I mean, the preparation and the research that went into that was quite incredible. So it's incredible value from a commercial ministry point of view, but almost more importantly, this is his hometown. He's a footballer. He's a very good footballer, and he knows what football means to these communities all around Tasmania. So, I think he brings. I mean, you couldn't have found a better president, to be honest. He really hits the sweet spot, and he just sits in the background. We've been very fortunate to have him.
We acknowledge that we haven't spoke much football, but we appreciate you, much of this game, the Heath Lovett Cup. We acknowledge that, but it's been great. I reckon we could sit here in the van as we quickly score a goal. Tasmania have got one on the board. Their first of the quarter. I think that might be Weller who's got her third there, X. We could speak to you for hours, Brendan. Thank you so much for coming in. X, I reckon we might
Thanks, guys.
go to
Thanks
a
for your
quick
time.
break.
Yeah, appreciate it, and thanks for coming in, and we look forward to catching up with you, and good luck with regards to the presentations this afternoon. Just before we leave, this is the quote that you left with regards to the Heath Lovett Cup. It's a game that can be played at all stages of life, and it's shaping up to be a competitive game that will not only be played at a high standard, but importantly be played in the spirit of Masters footy. So I think that's what we've seen throughout the course of today's proceedings. Appreciate your time, mate, and enjoy the golf course this afternoon after limbering up down at 7 Mile.
Beautiful. My pleasure, guys. Thank you. Good luck.
5.
And this carnival down in Penguin, is all about getting people happy, vibrant.
Team with their battle for the Heath Lovett Cup down in Tasmania. It's going to be a great weekend.
Part of this, you know, we realise mental health is a really big issue today.
It is.
And we provide that support to Australians and Masters footballers, as you spoke about, to access really important funds for treatment. As I said, mental health, life-threatening diseases, acute and chronic pain.
Dental. All of those things, yeah.
And it's quite a lengthy process. So we take out all those concerns for patients and allow them to access their super for these really important health reasons. Compassionate release scheme is what it's called. It's been legislated by the federal government. A lot of people don't know about it, but more importantly, how to access it. And that's what we do. We unlock all those provisions to allow patients to access their super before retirement age to draw the funds for these really important health reasons.
G'day, Gareth here from Green Pipes Plumbing. I'm absolutely honoured to be named the captain of the 45s 50s team taking on Tasmania in the upcoming Heath Lovett Cup. Footy's all about teamwork, showing up for your mates and getting the job done, just like us at Green Pipes Plumbing. Whether it's a block drain, emergency call out, or your hot water unit has packed it in, we'll come out and get the job sorted. We're a family business that supports grassroots footy and the communities we work in. So, if you've got something go wrong, choose the winning team, Green Pipes Plumbing. And good luck to all the players, and thanks for supporting grassroots footy.
Hi guys, Matt Crow here from Sports Gear Australia. Thanks for letting me jump on board to support the Big Country team with their battle for the Heath Lovett Cup down in Tasmania. It's going to be a great weekend. I hope you all enjoy it, played in the right spirit, played with Vic Country a couple of times through these Masters Carnivals and obviously in a New South Wales Guernsey as well. So all the best. I'm going to have a special code for you guys. Sports Gear Australia is known for player issue and match worn items. So we work with players and clubs directly to buy their gear. Great for the collector, not so good for us Masters to be able to fit in, and these player issue Guernseys are a bit tight. The code for 30% off is going to be KickerVic30. So we had to do it, but KickerVic30, sportsga.com.au for your player issue and match worn items.
This week here from Tyrepower Gisbone, we're out here sponsoring Big Country for the Heath Lovett Cup. Just playing out Tasmania. Come down to see us, we'll kick a good deal this footy season with a great set of tyres for you.
Get the power.
And welcome back to Wilson Homes, Dole Park Regional Sports Complex, part of the Penguin Football Club. It's Game 4 of the Masters, and it's the women's round, Tasmania versus Vic Country, and it's been all Tasmania, 5-4-34. They currently lead Victoria Country, who are yet to score. As we mentioned at the start of the game, we had a good chat with Tony Lovett just in the last game, all about the women's too. They actually don't have a number of leagues that the Tasmanian women do. Nonetheless, they are as passionate about footy as what our Tasmanian women are. And clearing the footy there was Nickers, so number 2 for the Vic Country. Going possibly in the wrong direction though, unfortunately, with a kick. And then it was repelled there by a teammate. Good mark, though, taken by number 6 for Tasmania. That's I think it might be Rachel Crack. So Crack now kicks the ball forward towards centre half forward. Is that Dunstan or Jeffrey? Not 100% sure. I'm going with Jeffrey. Bo, I think, is going with Dunstan. Gets the handball out to number 8, and that might be Layla Jeffrey or Cherie Adams. Not 100% sure. The reason I say this, ladies, number 6 it is. Is it Susie King or Rachel Crack? I'm not sure. We'll go with Susie King. Rachel Crack was the other one we mentioned a bit before. So we've got double up with regards to numbers. Ball kicked out towards centre wing position on the scoreboard side of the ground. It's Crack that's after the football at the moment. She picks it up, steps back inside, gets a handball, goes towards a counterpart there in Jeffrey, gets the football back. Crack kicks inside. That's a cracking kick. Unfortunately, they're unable to take the mark. The handball comes out to Kirby Gibbons. Gibbons goes forward, unable to take the ball cleanly was Newlands, and it's been released, but it falls into the hands of number 30, Kirby Gibbons. She kicks, wastes no time at the top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Vic Country look to clear. Good pressure been applied, though, by Tasmania again through Amy Newlands. But a kick has been marked on the last line of defence by Nat Korinski.
So Korinski, she's going to only clear this area maybe momentarily. It's a nice mark taken by BJ Johnson. Sizing up her next option. Kick down the line. Only the one goal to speak of in that last term. Going the way of the Tasmanians. Yet to score Vic Country. Great chat with Brendan there. Acknowledge we didn't quite chat the game at hand here, but we don't know how many times we're going to get Brendan on X, but we do acknowledge we get some of the people who are a little bit frustrated, so we're going to call it off. We're going to call the socks off here, I reckon. It's been a good game, I reckon. We've been watching it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, BJ Johnson's been excellent for the Victorian Country. Kick inside by number 34. That was Tish Johnson. They get the handball released to number 13. She kicks towards goal for Tasmania, and the mark has been taken in the goal square. And she's going to kick the goal, Melinda Green. So Melinda Green gets her first for the game. It's the first of the fourth term, and they go, I think, to 6-4-40. So 6-4-40, the Tasmanian team, Masters women's team. The map leave Vic Country, who are yet to score.
On stuff, paid attention. It is 6-4-40. He's too busy on his phone or messing around. He has been on good form today, Duff. But it was a great kick. And then Melinda Green, who I talked about earlier in the day, she is, I think there might be a medal named after her in the SFL. Best player, maybe the Melinda Green medal, or the leading goal kicker, I reckon it might be, Duff saying in my ear. So I think it might be a very good medal down at full forward X.
Tassie release from the centre square again. Again, good tackle been applied there by Vic Country through Kayne. And the kick towards centre half forward, trying to get her hands on the pill, was Murphy. So Muppy unable to do so. Tasmania takes them on. So I think that might be Rachel Crack. Vic Country apply the tackle, ball released. No one able to cleanly pick it up except for number 24, that's Megsy Corbett. She gets a handball released. It comes out to a fighting Walsh, Wombi. Wombi gets the ball forward. A good solid bump being applied. I think that's number 16, or is this 18? Might be 18 for Tasmania, Tanya Johnson. And we'll get Ampol Me to throw the ball up. A stalwart on the umpiring circuit here in the northwest of Tasmania.
So a fair up. Outside of the 50 now. Maybe push in the back there was Jessica Kayne. On the easy nickname in Jess. I do like how the team sheets have that. I reckon that should be compulsory for every game.
Yeah, Vic Country have done this, not Tasmania, but Vic Country have definitely done it.
So Kayne on cue, although the fullback.
Maybe Tassie have just focused on the footy, Bo.
Swoop that up, yeah, unlike us. Is Watts or Walker go in the middle of the ground. Nice mark taken to Christy Baker. She'll go towards this Corrigan side wing. It's a good kick. I reckon this might be Dunstan.
Who looks like Summer Jeffrey.
You know these guys more than me. I'm happy to trust your call on it.
Oh,
There's
no,
green.
Well, if we have a bob each way, we should cover all decks.
Yeah, we can't get it wrong then
So-
if we both go for it.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey or Dunstan. I don't want to back myself in again. I'm happy to go with your call as she kicks a really nice one to crack.
I think that's King.
Or King. And then setting upon goal with a big booming kick is Gibbons, and out the back is Weller.
I'm going with Weller.
I reckon Weller. She's the goal scorer today. She's kicked 4 today, X.
Well, I've got her for 3 and Newlands for 1.
Okay.
Because there's another 9.
All right. I'm happy to go with you on that
Nonetheless,
one.
I just want to share it around. I think that's fair and reasonable.
And it's not us not paying attention, as people might think, that we're messing the names up. We've got a couple of different double-up numbers, so it's not us. You can't blame that on Brendan. We're just doing what we've been told, and we're looking at the numbers that we've been given. Probably should have chased that up, though. X?
No, well, I did so before, and the contact within the team room didn't come back with the sheet for me. Anyway, so be it, as they get the ball away through the services of number 34, that's Tish Johnson. Inside forward 50, a mark not being paid by the umpire. Must have been touched off the boot, and that would have been Weller, actually Newlands, I think, there. Ball up. Getting a hands on it. Knocking it down was Dunham. Straight to a teammate, who's wrapped up in a tackle.
So if they...
That'd be Georgia Johnson, I reckon.
They win this, the ladies, which I reckon they will. They've won the Heath Lovett Cup, Tasmania.
Yeah, so they'd be
Going
3-1. That's right, so they can't lose. Lee Heath walking past just before. He's really enjoying his day. Free kick according to the umpire. Centre of the ground. Vic Country. Kick taken away, but wrapped up in a tackle was Rabbit Smith. Going forward, either was that Jeffrey or Adams?
No, Jeffrey's on the bench.
So Layla Jeffrey's on the bench, is she? No, I'm talking about Layla Jeffrey or Cherie Adams.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 number 8s.
Yep.
And away they go at the moment. Goes Tasmania. BJ Johnson, for mine, she's definitely been the predominant player for the women for Vic Country. Tasmania, they've had multiple players that have played a role, including Tamika Wiggins. Gets a boot to ball, but it's been smothered again by Rabbit Smith, along with BJ Johnson. Going up in the ruck, it's Demazi, so Jack versus Grady. Rolling over there was Kayne. Jess losing the football, and it lands into the hands of Tish Johnson. We'll get another ball up.
Well, the 2 number 7s are on the bench, so I don't have to worry about that. 2 number 9s will be somewhere as they tap it down. Vic Country now work their way out of the stoppage. Nice little dance step there from Johnson. She's been really good, but unfortunately turns that one over into the hands of Tamika Wiggins.
Been one of the more dominant players for Tasmania today, along with Jeffrey or Dunstan.
I reckon Dunstan's the one with the strapping tape on her shoulder, X. Just in front of us here in the commentary box, as this one is worked down towards the pocket, keeping it in nicely. It's Newlands or Weller. I reckon it might be Weller with a stunner. Now I reckon she's got 4X.
Yeah, that's it. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and she's really taken all the opportunities that have been presented to her, and they extend the lead. 8-4-52. Let's have a look again on the replay. Just moving her opponent there, Kufinski. So Nat, just to the boundary side, got some pace. Good kick on the angle, on the inside of the boot, splits the middle. Hey diddle diddle. She's pretty happy with it. So well done. And there's number 20. Demazi, Jack, asking a few questions to her teammates. So on the Wilson's home scoreboard, we can see Tasmania 8-4-52 leading Vic Country yet to score.
So tap down in the middle, won by number 20, Jacinta DeMarcy. Coming away from the stoppage, though, is Crack. I reckon that might be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with the blonde hair.
As they load to the back half of the square, right on it. And now Gibbons can unleash inside the forward 50, but a strong mark taken by the Vicks. They work their way out to a teammate in Corbett, Megsy. I like that nickname. 5 minutes left in the game. Wiggins, check side kick. Oh, bounces in the lap superbly for a teammate in Johnston. And now they go further afield. Kick over the top finds Saltmarsh. Inside the forward 50 they go. Picking it up nicely and running with it is Gibbons. She unleashes right towards full forward. Nice shrug move by the Vicks, sending them out of defence. And trying to track it down was Saunas. Another one inside forward 50, but this lady, it might be number 7, Lisa Walsh, has been a rock in defence, X.
She certainly has. Gets the kick out towards Nickers. So that's Nikki Porter, cross centre wing position. She looks inboard. The kick, though, wasn't to the advantage of her teammate. So Tasmania now have an opportunity through the services of Johnston. Gets a boot to ball. Cross back into the middle of the ground. On the back end of it, though, was Tamazi. He's been wrapped up in a great tackle there by Kirby Gibbons. And is that in the back? No, says the umpire. It's holding the ball, and so she will receive the free kick. And Gibbons, Tamazi has a wry smile on her face. Gibbons with a bit of an up and under. Ball towards centre half forward. Foot on the football was Lily Salerno. Back towards BJ Johnson. Gets the handball out. Doesn't hit the target. They're able to pick it up, though, like a rabbit. And that would be Carly Smith. And the umpire says we will have a free kick going to Tasmania because it was deemed to be a throw.
I'll tell you what, I've been trying to get these chips and gravy down for about an hour and a half now. I'm still trying to get through them. Good thing we got a bit of a break for the next game as Young goes inside the forward 50. Lost the plot in here, I reckon, is DeMarcy is taken in the tackle. And a ball up inside their forward 50. Convincing display from Tasmania. In fact, it'll be a free kick going the way of Kirkby. And she'll get someone on the lead in Ingle. Right to the teeth of goal, but a strong mark taken from Porter. In fact, sorry, it was Carraz. So
Susie.
Happy you helped me out on that one. I wasn't sure what to go with X.
I think she's given it to Walsh. So Wombi comes out of the back half there. Looking for, not finding, Sky Sinclair. She had the skids, and that was because the runner got in the way. Tasmania repelled, so turning it back inboard was number 6. I think that might have been Rachel Crack. Good tackle applied. Leanne Lili Salerno.
What did she have? The skids. The skids,
yes, that's right. She had the skids. That's right. Sky Sinclair. And a free kick. I'm not sure what that was for. I'm confused as much as the players. And another 50. So someone's done something with regards to the bit of lip. And the recipient of that goal is Elizabeth McKay. And so she'd be pretty happy with the fact that from 100 metres away, she now is able to get onto the scoreboard and etch her name into the Masters Women's Round between Tasmania and Vic Country here in the Heath Lovett Cup. So for perpetuity reasons, Elizabeth McKay will see her name as part of this particular round of football here at Wilson Homes, Dial Park. Love being home, the home of the two Blues. 9-4-58, the map versus Vic Country in the women's. Yet to score. So number 9 with the knee tape is Trish Medwin. Thank you for that, whoever commented that on our YouTube channel. And the Heath Lovett Cup is going to Tasmania. The women's team have made no doubt about that. 9-4-58. They were dominant throughout the game today. Goal kickers, Simone Weller, I think we agree she had 4 X. Summer Jeffrey 1, Kirkby
singles going to Green and McKay. And for the visitors, they didn't score all day, but they sure as hell put up a fight, X.
They certainly did. For the better players for Vic Country, for mine, I thought BJ Johnson was definitely their best, the vice captain. She really made sure that she gave real effort through that midfield and then across half back, and that's where the footy was for the majority of the game for Vic Country. Another player that was also very good for them, in particular in the back half, I thought Wombi, Lisa Walsh, also showed some real resolve towards the back half, even though they knew that they weren't going to get within a bull's roar of being able to actually upset the map here at Wilson Holmes Dial Park. Another player that I really liked today was the efforts of Carly Smith Rabbit, getting in and under, and Nikki Porter, just for her nickname Knickers. I thought Knickers was a ripper. Unfortunately for Vic Country, they had the skids today, but Tasmania, better player as well. I tell you what, you could put a blanket across the list of team members here today, but I'm going to go with a pair of 9s. I thought Newlands and Weller up front were very good. Same with the 7s. This is a bit like a good card hand.
9 spot at the Bridge Hotel.
That's right. Jeffrey and Dunstan. I also thought Rachel had a crack, along with Susie King throughout the course of today's proceedings. Tamika Wiggins was good, the number 1. And then getting on the scoreboard, we saw Melanie Kirkby joining them, along with Melinda Green and Elizabeth Mackay. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the number 7s got best on ground today for Tasmania. And for mine, as I mentioned before, by far BJ Johnson, the vice captain for Vic Country.
Yep.
For this afternoon. We shall see very shortly. Brendan Gale will be out there. There he is out on the field at the moment. He's having a bit of a chat. We'll be turning our attention to those out on the field for the presentation very shortly. And then we'll be into the final game of today. Game number 5, the over 35s, the men's seniors round, Tasmania, the map versus Vic Country.
Just quietly before we go, Duff set up a camera in here, and I like as soon as he set it up, you've put your hat on. You know, nothing escapes me, X. Nothing escapes me. But it is great to have your company here on Duff TV. We're going to sign off for the women's game today. He's got the cap on. We're going to see you very, very shortly for the men. Stay tuned. I think that's what starts me. Sorry for let's go.
Probably. No, they have one for me. They can't find it, so it's not missing. We'll do the toss up. Who was number 3 for Vic Country? Anyone got a program? Who was it, Les?
Who was it, do you know?
What?
Number 3.
Oh, I thought you went and found out.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, ladies, if you could just hang around for a while. Vic Country, if you could just come forward. We've got a special guest, Brendan, if you could just come forward, please. Bring them up, mate. Thank you very much for participating. I know it's not easy. If we could just have a little bit of attention. I know it's not easy travelling over the Bass Strait, but fantastic that you've got a team together. Game was played in fantastic spirits. We've got the best player for Vic Country. He's number 3. I'd like to ask Brendan Gale to and for Tasmania, Rachel Crack. I'd just like to ask Brendan to say a few words and pump up the Devils a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, ladies. Great game, played in good spirits. Congratulations, thank you, Victorian girls, for coming over. Great sacrifice. Facilities are great crowd here. This is my hometown. Spent many years here, many years ago, so very proud of what they've produced here. Great, they're still playing. Participation in football's gone through the Richter in Tasmania. There's a lot of excitement around footy. Certainly looking forward to building the Tassie Devils Footy Club and taking our place in the AFL in 2028. We're with the first club in the history of the AFL to be developing and delivering both men's and women's teams at the same time, the same year. So big kick for equity and inclusion. And once again, congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, Brendan. I would ask the ladies, I will give the medals so as you can distribute them in the rooms. Cast of thousands might be a few short, but we can source them for you, Bakes, there's no problem. If I'd like to ask the Vic Country women and the Tasmanian women to line up. We will do a few formalities and we'll get the men's teams to join us, if you wouldn't mind. Just up there. Line it up, isn't it? I don't care, you can do your team photo, mate.